If Vampirella wears a cover-up, it's going to be a fashionable leopard-spotted cover-up. Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Subliteral Network. I make art and comics, and thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe, and to leave your feedback in the comments. Now, I post art daily 5 days a week on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and this is a roundup of some of that work in case you missed it, with a little more detailed description added. You can read my Una the Cave Bunny comics free at radiocomics.com, and my one-shot comic called Searchers is now available at burningstarcomics.net. Visit my Patreon page if you'd like to support my work. There's a growing gallery of art and comics to see and enjoy. Now, all these links are in my description and bio, and please watch till the end so you don't miss anything. These are more of those little Sharpie sketches that I put in the package for my eBay winners, along with their original art. So I've taken two and mashed them up together. And one of the things that I have is sort of a running gag is that I just sort of imagine the leader from the Marvel Comics, the Hulk stories. Usually he's fighting the Hulk, but I figured he just has this tremendous crush on She-Hulk and is always plotting super scientific plots to trap her in his lair. Plus, I've always kind of liked the leader. He's such a ridiculous character. He got hit by gamma rays, and instead of becoming super strong like the Hulk, he became super smart, and his brain just got huge and shot up into this giant cylinder in his head. That's what his head became. But at the same time, he always kept that vain little pencil mustache. Like he must have looked in the mirror and said, with the giant head, the green skin, and he just figured the pencil mustache was the thing that was really going to get the girls. The leader is different now. I guess he's kind of a super weird, evil genius, but back then he was just a green scientist in a lab coat with a pencil mustache. I just kind of liked him better that way. This is a sketch card size little ink drawing of Vampirella. The old Warren magazines, illustrated by like the great Spanish illustrators like San Julian, and these guys were real artists, and they really knew how to draw beautiful women. One of the things that I remember clearly was that San Julian, all these artists would draw. Vampirella had that, that tiny little sling bikini costume thing. But when she was trying to disguise herself, or when she kind of was walking the streets, she would put on like a coat, either a fur coat, but usually a leopard spotted skin coat like this. And I don't know if artists nowadays know how to do that in comics. Vampirella was just like stylish and sexy, and if she's gonna put a coat on, she's not gonna throw some sloppy trench coat on. She's gonna put on something very fashionable and chic, like a leopard skin coat. So it was back in the 70s. I was a young lad buying comic books, right? And the newsstand comics, they had the comics code, and there were things that you could and couldn't do in there. Mostly things you couldn't do. But the comic publishers wanted to get the bigger sales that you'd get from magazines. So they started publishing black and white magazines based on their properties. Like mostly you might have seen or remember the Savage Sword of Conan. But Jim Warren of Warren Publishing was sort of way ahead of that curve, and you could publish material in a magazine without the censoring of the comics code, and that was Vampirella, who just had like the briefest of costumes and kind of nipples poking out through the costume she wore and stuff, and just generally sexier and more horrible material could be in the magazines. So I was buying magazines like the Warren magazines, Savage Sword of Conan, and also Heavy Metal at the time. This She-Hulk art is cropped from a color piece that I sold on eBay, and I don't seem to have a full version of this, so I've only got this crop and maybe another one available. In the whole picture, She-Hulk has just beaten up Titania and some giant woman in the rhino's costume, so you can kind of see parts of them beaten up back there. This is drawn in ink on tone tan paper with markers and white china crayon for the highlights. Usually I'll draw She-Hulk in like my whole Planet She-Hulk thing where she's just wearing like purple scraps and stuff, but this one I took a shot. She was doing her superhero thing, so you can see that she's wearing her She-Hulk superhero in costume, and that's all ripped up. I'd like to thank you, my subscribers, and especially my new subscribers. I'm very happy you enjoy hearing something more about the work that I'm doing, and I hope the videos are entertaining, and I really hope you can come back for more.